Tonight, Pac-12 football presented by Vizio as the Bruins host Arizona State. And welcome up top to the Rose Bowl with Yogi Roth, Ted Robinson. Jill Savage is flying around down on the sideline. All right, I think the records for both teams underscore the importance of this. Both striving to get to that start bar of 6 wins, Yogi. Best news for UCLA has to be Josh Rosen playing tonight.
Yeah, and thankfully for them, he's playing at home, and this is where they've had a lot of success, because when they've gone on the road, whether it's Josh Rosen, the defensive side, this team has just struggled. Look at, they haven't won a road game in over a year, and it's been dramatic when you look at their performance. But when they're home, Josh Rosen can light it up. I believe he's one of the top 2 quarterbacks in the country. The other one just across town here in Los Angeles. And tonight it's going to be lights out for Josh Rosen. They're going to throw the football all over the yard. It's going to be up-tempo. It's going to be shots down the field. They're going to stress this Arizona State secondary like they haven't been stressed all season long.
And then the flip side, and how important must it be for UCLA to be able to get a lead, to play from ahead tonight, to try to offset some of this?
Well, it's been dramatic. You know, when you look at how poor their rush defense has been, and it's been dramatic how many players they've lost on the defensive side. So they're very young, which means they're very light in the front 7. And ASU, they're going to simply pound the rock all evening long behind one of the top running backs, not only on their team, but in the Pac-12. And last week, DeMario Richard against Colorado, he just went off. So if UCLA wants to stack the box tonight, look out, because Manny Wilkins can make you pay over the top, because they're going to have to try to stop the running attack and see if ASU can win in the air.
And this is how Arizona State clinched the win last Saturday against Colorado. Todd Graham said he runs with a vengeance. And let's face it, Todd Graham, after 6'7", 5'7", understand that the standards at ASU are higher than that. And that's what you hope if you're Todd Graham, is that win over Washington, and a thorough win. I mean, a decisive win was a spur. And can they build on it here in these last couple of weeks?
I think that they can. I mean, you go back to even last year, Ted, they were on their 4th-string quarterback. I don't care what team you are. If that happens to you, you're going to struggle. And it's been fun to watch this team early on in the season. Todd Graham said he thought in the second half against Texas Tech, it could have gone 1 or 2 ways. The team rallied, almost won that ball game. And since then, you've seen one of the most competitive teams outside of that SC game in the Pac-12 South. A must-win for them to get bowl eligible, a must-win for UCLA and Jim Mora as well.
And there it is, 6 years as well for Jim on the Bruins sideline and handling a dizzying array of injuries. Of course, including playing at Utah last week without Josh Rosen. Brandon Rees will kick off for UCLA, and there are the return men, Mo Osling and Mossy Johnson for UCLA. And might I say, the UCLA uniforms look awesome under those Saturday night lights. We have Gabe Marks with us tonight. Gabe has just finished a brilliant career at Washington State. We were commenting on the field. These are unis that shouldn't change. Those look, and under the lights, they really look great.
It's going to be awesome. I think we're going to see fireworks from Josh Rosen in this offense. They're going to be taking shots early on against the depleted secondary of ASU.
All right, we are close to going here. And having a terrific freshman year, Brandon Rees. And yes, that is how he and his family pronounce the name. We honor that as he kicks the ball deep to the end zone and is down by Osling. So Josh Rosen's numbers, and those 8 picks came in one 4-game stretch midway through the season.
But I'm really excited to see him tonight. He's going to see a variety of different defenses from Arizona State. It's not the pressure team that you're used to seeing from Todd Graham, meaning not a lot of blitzes, but a lot of different looks. And it's going to be fun for Josh Rosen because this is where he excels. He told me this when he was 17, that football is like chess on steroids for him. He loves the mental side of trying to understand what you're doing defensively. That's what we're going to be keyed into early on in this ball game.
And obviously UCLA, fans well know, playing really handicapped at the wide receiver spot. Darren Andrews is out. And so Rosen will go with the underneath throw to start things right away.
And you're going to see tempo right away from UCLA. I really think they're going to try to go fast. They've been going fast a lot of times with Rosen at quarterback, snapping it with about 18 seconds remaining on the play clock. But I think they're going to go even faster tonight, try to create chunk plays.
Alex Van Dyke was the first catch. This is Eldridge Massington. Explosive play inside the Arizona State 35. A little forward toss on the fly sweep motion by Massington.
Well, Jim Mora told us we're going to let it rip at the Rose Bowl. They do it right from the beginning. A fake to Felton, and all of a sudden, Eldridge Massington, the guy's been around for a long time, hasn't necessarily lived up to the hype over the last couple seasons. Big play early on.
And that was a forward pass. Actually, you saw Rosen let go of the ball, now going to the end zone. And overshoots. Boy, there's a little tumble out the backside of the end zone by Austin Roberts. All right, our difference makers presented by Wendy's, and we do expect to see Jordan Lasley at some point tonight.
Yeah, he's going to be there. He's going to be a big play wide receiver. He's made big plays for them, but Evan Fields will be keyed in on number 6. He's starting at free safety in this ball game. First start of his entire career, the true freshman tonight.
He's got a man to the corner, just through the hands of Massington. And that was 6.
Really impressive play call. Christian Pabico on the out route. The corner jumps it wide open on that rail shot. And you just got to make that type of play. But the chess match at the line of scrimmage from Jed Fish and defensive coordinator Phil Bennett's going to be fun to watch, these two coordinators, specifically on critical downs and distances.
All right, so now it is the second consecutive 3rd and 10 scenario facing Rosen and the Bruins. Pabico is the slot receiver to the left. And that's thrown away. So an attempted screen there with Olorunfemi, but he was smothered in that right flat by Latu.
Well, one thing you didn't see, right? You didn't see him run the ball.
No, you hit that right.
We know what we're going to see from Josh Rosen. Yeah. It's going to be like a basketball game for Jim Moore and Josh Rosen. They're going to put him on his back. He's going to have to carry this team tonight. They're going to have to outscore ASU because ASU's running attack and the difficulty UCLA has had in run defense.
J.J. Molson, 9 for 11 this year, 37. And that ball did not get put down cleanly, and it missed. And that exchange center to Holder didn't go smoothly, and the Bruins come up empty. All right, watch the Holder. Stephen Flintoff, who's the punter for the Bruins, he'll muff this snap. Recovers, but you see how it affects. You can see through Molson's strides there how it affected the kicker.
1,000%. Yeah. And of course, laces were not out, and frustrating right there. And we'll be tracking unforced errors for both teams. There's 2 on that drive: a drop from Massington, and then of course the hold.
So first possession for the Sun Devils, and Wilkins will flip it, and a good gain there out on first down. It'll flip straight ahead to Kyle Williams.
You know, Manny Wilkins, when you look at this guy, you know, we watch every bit of tape, Ted, and to me, he's been the most consistent quarterback in the entire Pac-12. And I get Josh, and I get Sam Darnold, but Manny's really been that steady type of player. Doesn't make mistakes, only 3 picks. Last guy to do it in the Pac-12 was a guy named Marcus Mariota in an entire season with less than 4.
All right, and here we go after the little flip pass forward for a run. Now Richard goes straight ahead, and that gets an Arizona State first down. As we see more difference makers presented by Wendy's.
We'll be following N'Keal Harry. He's a difference maker, big time player at the wideout. But I think Kenny Young, he's got to be the leader for this defense. So many injured players. Jalen Phillips not playing in this ballgame. Jaleel Wadood not playing in this ballgame.
As Richard spins one down to the 45-yard line of UCLA, and raised by uncle and aunt, and just it's a terrific story to see him use football as this means and spur to enter adulthood in a great place. That'll be a first down for ASU.
And Manny Wilkins does all the little things well. I mean, honestly, he is the definition of student athlete. You know, he got this starting job. He pulled in the young guys like N'Keal Harry. He said, "Oh, you're going to come live with me. Now, you don't even have an option on that. I'll make sure you do things the way I do things," which is on the straight and narrow.
First down throw was to Kyle Williams, or the first down gain rather was to Kyle Williams. Now on first down, the throw goes to Jalen Harvey.
You know, what Arizona State's trying to do is spread you out enough where those linebackers expand just a little bit. Then there's a crease for Demario Richard.
And there's a crease for Demario Richard. And he ran through one tackle, takes it down to the 10.
It's the patience of Demario Richard. Watch him from the backside right there. Linebackers are taking on a block. Kenny Young gets engaged. There's no one there. Can't get off the block. Big game.
Inside, runs it down to the 7. So on our conversation during the week with Todd Graham, he used the word Demario Richard that he runs with a vengeance, and he showed it when he ran right through that tackle at about the 15-yard line.
He's been running well, and they said, look, we know we got 3 backs. They got the freshman Eno Benjamin, obviously Kalen Balaj, and they just try to go matchup-wise. They get a feel as the game goes on, and you watch Balaj a week ago against Colorado. He went absolutely off, feeding him the rock early on in this ball game, and his patience, his vision, and his burst is what's allowing them to be knocking inside the 10.
ASU, very good red zone team this year. Wilkins with a fake. And out of the end zone, and he hit his man for the ASU touchdown. That is N'Keal Harry. Second best red zone team in the conference, and ASU cashes in.
Well, roommate to roommate, his nickname, you see the end there. Nice job, heel toe, that's the rule. That's perfect right there from N'Keal Harry. They call him the Secretariat, Ted, because he said he's a workhorse on this team, according to Manny Wilkins. And this guy's really elevated his practice play, and it has shown up every time he's showed up on the field.
We have a shaking up Arizona State player at the end. That's what the delay is here. Jordan Wilson shaking up. Let's watch N'Keal Harry again.
He's just going to work the end line, and you just got to be patient there. It's a timing thing. Manny Wilkins is going to take a while to develop. Look at the patience. He's throttled down because he sees the defense right there. That, to me, is really impressive. Gradual level stuff, man.
And that fake motion, the jet sweep motion by Kyle Williams to the left, took a couple of defenders there. And is that just long enough to help?
Yeah, it's beautiful timing.
Right.
That's a great example of all 11 guys of understanding the patience, the flow of a play. Then Manny Wilkins finds his favorite target for 6.
All right, and the extra point is kicked through by Reese. So UCLA looked like they had a shot to get the first points to jump in front. Instead, it is ASU. 5th touchdown reception for N'Keal Harry this year. It capped off the 6-play scoring drive presented by Buick. And it gives the Sun Devils the first score.
Ted, what was so impressive is the tempo. When they're snapping the ball on one snap on that drive with 30 seconds left on the play clock. Both of these teams going fast. Choreographed. Nice.
Reese kicking off here, and Osling will down it in the end zone. Well, here's a good run for Ola. Run for me. All right, UCLA mixing in just its second run play so far, and it's a huge one for Bolo. Ola, run for me.
Well, if UCLA can get to the 2nd level, maybe even the 3rd level of the defense, hugely successful. Chase Lucas meets the stiff arm. Ola, run for me. Remember, Evan Fields, a true freshman in the back end, the redshirt freshman Lucas. It'll be interesting to see if they can keep doing that.
Now Rosen to the air, and that ball is going to be intercepted off the hands of a receiver and ruled to be picked. Chad Adams.
And Jordan Wilson is going to run the stick route out to his right, and he just turns. And looks to me like Josh Rosen read man-to-man coverage. And in man-to-man, you're supposed to sprint out of it. Wilson kind of slowed his way out of it like it was against zone coverage. Didn't seem to be on the same page because that's not a throw Josh Rosen's going to miss. So they're going to have to go back to the sideline and talk about, are we seeing man, zone? And for ASU, they play a unique coverage where sometimes it looks like zone with the safeties, but it's man-to-man underneath. It's called match coverage. That's what they did on that snap.
It's so disappointing, and that's those passes we referenced earlier. When a ball tips off a receiver's hand, it's so dangerous. And there, Chad Adams alert with the pick for ASU. You saw UCLA's turnover margin, how that's hurt them this year. And now Kalen Balaj gets in, and his first carry. Chris Barnes playing for UCLA. And on that, all right, so both teams going at tempo here, and that's going to be, well, it looks like just enough for a first down. We'll see. On the 2nd down run.
That's impressive when you look at the time between plays. Not a lot tonight. Both teams are going even faster.
So the previous mark was short. That is a first down run by Balaj. And so the question becomes, if you're UCLA, Yogi, and you've already struggled so terribly to stop the run, and you play this tempo. And a reverse. Harry's got space. And tracked down from behind, but not before he gets close to the 20. Octavius Spencer tracked him down from behind for UCLA.
He picks up a block from number 5, his roommate. Springs N'Keal Harry down the right sideline.
And I don't know how much subbing Tom Bradley, the coordinator, can do in the UCLA defense, but that's one thing this up-tempo does if you're Arizona State. You know they struggle to stop the run anyway. Now you're going to force them to play fatigued.
Yeah, I mean, the only time you can sub is when the ball, like it is now, on your hash for UCLA. And the style of plays that offensive coordinator Billy Napier is calling, you really can't get a beat on it if UCLA's defense. You got to just try to play sound.
Ooh, and Richard, there's a good spin around and tackle. Kenny Young spun him around. And then finished by Enorica. Chikose Enorica. So now 3rd down and 5. And this, again, a crucial play for the UCLA defense. Here now you're hoping to force them to kick.
Keep an eye right here. Jalen Harvey, number 89. Got him 16 times on 3rd down, 10 conversions, Ted.
Harry motions in a 3-receiver bunch to the top, and that's where he's going, and Harry has it. Inside the 5, it'll be 1st and goal for ASU.
And you can see Manny saying, hey, let's go, let's go, let's go. Again, they get in the red zone. They're trying to hit him with quick hitters. UCLA slow getting up off the ground.
Two of the better red zone offensive teams in the conference, and ASU. Ooh, Wilkins looked like he had a lane in, and he got spun there. And Jacob Tuioti Mariner. And Wilkins is down close to the 1.
Tuioti Mariner, he's done a nice job thus far tonight on the edge, just kind of holding it, setting it, hanging on.
And this time it is an ASU touchdown to Mario Richard. So still 3:39 to play in the first quarter, and this is exactly what Arizona State wanted and what UCLA dreaded.
Well, it's great tempo, incredible mix-up of play calling, and with a young defense, you can't do much with them, so you got to just play your certain looks, and ASU's taking advantage of it with just better players right now in N'Keal Harry and Demario Richard.
Brandon Rees kicks through the extra point. So I don't think penalties made a difference so far. A couple of crucial ones on UCLA that have helped ASU to a 2-touchdown lead.
That's right. It's 5 unforced errors thus far in the game, and for ASU, 0.
Ola run for me. Previous possession, he had a 30-yard run, so that's the 3rd run play for UCLA so far. Statistically, for some reason, they rule those flip passes on the fly sweep. They rule those as running plays. They're not. They're pass plays. Now on 2nd down, Rosen with plenty of time and delivered that one, and that's not caught. A little bit behind Austin Roberts. Well, that's the time he's flat-footed. He gets to step up into that throw.
I mean,
all right, receiver.
Make it. You got to make the play.
Gotta make the catch. Yep, you're right.
I mean, Josh is gifted from that pocket. This offensive line's done a nice job throughout the season. Against ASU, they've struggled the last 2 years with Rosen at quarterback. Last year got banged up, had to leave the game. Got to make those plays.
That's 3 so far in this first quarter. 3 balls that have not been caught by receivers. There's a low one, and it is caught, but short of the first. Christian Pabico with the catch, but taken down into the turf by the catch and comes up short.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating, right? If you're UCLA, you just reference some of the unforced errors, but could have had a touchdown on the first possession. You catch the ball there, it's a chunk play, and all of a sudden the clock's moving, the tempo is moving, your offense is moving. They're not good enough to not make those types of plays.
Flintoff its way a punt. It's a low one that hits and spins sideways, and not a very good punt. So things have quickly turned south here for UCLA. That's only a 30-yard punt. So let's check down on the field with Captain Jill.
Ted, you guys have been talking about it, how young the UCLA defense is. As they came off the field last time, the message was to the defensive linemen that are full of freshmen and sophomores, hey, if you guys see the play call, let your teammates know. Let's not make it harder on ourselves than we need to be. Everybody on their team was coming over to them saying, hey, it's still early. We still have a chance at this. Don't worry. Don't get really frustrated this early on in the game.
It's a great point, Joe. I mean, they're so young, Ted, when you just look at the players playing, whether it's Marcus Moore, redshirt freshman, whether it's even in playing experience, Mossy Johnson, first time ever playing the safety, having to start in this game. At the backer, Keyshawn Lucier South playing a younger guy. I mean, they're so young on that side of the ball.
That one tipped, and there's a pick, and that's going to be for 6. Nate Metters, touchdown Bruins.
Well, Jill Savage said it to the young players on this defense, just make plays. That's exactly what happened. It looked like that was Marcus Moore hitting the ball up, batting it to Nate Metters. It's been their most consistent corner. He steps up to make a huge play for this defense, who's been much maligned throughout the season.
Well, you talk about one moment that could change that whole tone that Jill just mentioned. There it is. And again, it's the same thing. It's why defensive linemen, when you rush, get those hands up, change passing lanes. Metters took advantage of it, but the play is made by, yeah, there it is, the left hand of Marcus Moore.
And he reminds me of Tack McKinley. I can remember Tack when he made his first appearance against Arizona State 4 years ago on a kickoff. He's got that same type of playmaker ability, young. But Ted, I'd say you never want to make up for your mistakes like he did on the third down, but that one might give him a net neutral right now in this ball game.
Yeah. All right, Molson to kick off. This one's coming back from the goal line, maybe a yard deep. Oh, and a great open field tackle. That is an excellent open field tackle by Mossy Johnson. And we were talking about spoilers that got disrupted a minute ago. So with the results today, unless Cal pulls off an upset next week, for example, in the big game against Stanford, the Apple Cup is going to determine the North representative, and the Huskies are the spoilers. Who would have thought that?
It's crazy how
it's the Cougars.
happen.
It's the Cougars, and they have it in control. They own the tiebreak against Stanford, and that's, yeah, that one we would not have predicted at the beginning of the year. All right, here after a quarter, UCLA's defense gets them some life. 14-7 Sun Devils. All right, here's ASU back to work now. Manny Wilkins keeps the interception that gave UCLA at 7 points, only the 4th this year. Manny Wilkins has had 304 attempts.
He's ridiculously impressive. I mean, he just has mastery of the system. And if you think about it, right, prior to the season, was it going to be him? Was it going to be Alabama transfer, Blake Barnett? He stayed the course. He and offensive coordinator Billy Napier done a really impressive job scheming up opponents, utilizing a variety of different plays.
So now third down. And Wilkins. Oh, that one, Nate Metters broke on that. You thought he had a shot. Does register the pass breakup intended for Jalen Harvey.
Well, to me, this is all the defensive line of UCLA. I mean, Manny Wilkins throwing off his back foot. You'll see the pressure come to the right of your screen right here. That's Rick Wade. Hasn't played in a couple weeks. And you see him just get his hands up. He's a big dude. 6'6", about 280. Banged up the last few weeks, only a few snaps a week ago. We talked to him earlier before the game this week, and he was so excited to get back, just have an impact. And he did.
Punt comes away, and Pickett is going to get spun around and dropped after a very short run back. And that'll bring us back to the Rose Bowl. How great is Ball? As Pamico, and look at that nice little block thrown. Quessenberry. Christian Pamico takes it down. Scott Quessenberry, the veteran center, making his 41st career start. Throws a real nice block here.
Well, you'll see him right there, just kind of waiting for it.
Boom.
Gets a low block right there on DJ Calhoun, and the walk-on wide receiver, Christian Pamico. Explosive play, the first one of the night for the Bruins.
And Ola Runfami gets about 3 there. And those are those little blocks because, you know, we know especially interior offensive linemen don't get a lot of love. But you throw a nice block like that, that allows that play to be a big one. That winds up being 30 yards. So UCLA has had 3 explosive plays so far on offense. And here's another one. And down to the 1-yard line goes Ola Runfami.
Josh Rosen's understanding of where this defense is deporting to when they line up tight near the line of scrimmage is just evolving. You see it as the game goes on.
Well, look at that, Rosen. He said, no, don't diss me. I can keep the ball and score.
Never said he wasn't a dynamic athlete. The zone read from Josh Rosen. How many times have we said that throughout his 3-year career? Very few, I would imagine. This team and Josh Rosen been pretty resilient tonight, Ted.
How about the swing in this first half? About 15 minutes ago, everybody had their head down on the UCLA side. You're worried about them, and then that one play, the defensive play, Moore tipping a ball and Metters running it back, followed up by this touchdown drive, and we're tied. And we still have a whole long way to go.
Oh, yeah. Josh Rosen understands this defense. Oh, you want to drop 8? I'll just check it down to my back and let Ola Runfami run inside the 1. And then, hey, zone read, Manny Wilkins. Hey, I can do it too, man. Touchdown, tied up.
Pac-12 football presented by Vizio. So here we are now, a little different mood on the Bruins sideline.
That's Jed Fish, offensive coordinator. And really, Jed Fish has come in and revamped this offense. Third offensive coordinator for Josh Rosen in his 3-year career here at UCLA thus far. And his system, I think, is dynamic. As good of a system as there is in college football. He's a future star as a head coach. And how about the resiliency of his quarterback? Missed him for 6 quarters, Ted, until they got him back today.
Right, J.J. Molson's kickoff. And a good return there out close to the 25-yard line for Arizona State. Arizona and Arizona State, the only chances they have to share the title would be if UCLA can beat USC at the Coliseum next Saturday. All right, big slice, man. That was a big lane to run through for Demario Richard. Well, I have a feeling, Yogi, we may have, I'm just sensing we have a little Big 12 football in us here tonight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this one's going to go back and forth and back and forth. And these two sidelines, they know it. They can feel it. Billy Napier, he knows it too. He's got some explosive playmakers. He's been so diverse tonight in his play calling. It's been really fun to watch the misdirection plays led by Manny Wilkins.
Now it's Balaj, and again, big. Just a big hole right up center, and he's to the 50-yard line.
And again, it's this fly motion that they're doing. It's just impacting the linebackers. You see him in the middle there, just subtly. You see right there, that was Kenny Young. Just all of a sudden, he goes to his right an extra 6 inches, and there's a whole backside, and Kalen Balaj is not going to miss a backside cut.
And then you saw the interior, A.J. McCollum, the center, and Steve Miller, the right guard. Good job of pushing the big bodies and getting that hole up the middle. Now it's a straight snap to Williams. Kyle Williams takes it. And this time the Bruins stuff it for a short gain.
But that's the thing, right? I mean, this offensive line doesn't get enough credit, number one, for ASU, but it's Kyle Williams, it's Kalen Balaj, it's Demario Richards, N'Keal Harry, Jalen Harvey on a 3rd down. I mean, they have as good a weapons as any team in the Pac-12 in my eyes on offense.
Get another new body. Nick Terry's playing in there on the defensive front for UCLA. 2nd down and 8. This time Balaj motions. And Eno Benjamin into the game, gets his first handoff and takes it down inside the 40.
Okay, check this out, Ted. It's going to be man-to-man coverage. You see running over the top? That's a Darius Pickett. When there's man-to-man coverage, that's when these runs are dynamite. They're called slide runs, meaning you're sliding a wide receiver, a tight end, any offensive player one way, and you're running it backside and trying to force that defense to overrun. And if they overrun one gap, it's a big play. And a big play in slide runs is considered 7 or more. Right now, ASU has had their way against a young defense, seeing slide runs at certain positions for the first time in their young careers.
And Balaj drives it straight ahead, punches it down to get 5.
And again, Ted, slide runs. Jalen Harvey in motion. And this is going to be something to watch as this game goes on, because UCLA is going to get it right in the box in their run fits, and then Manny Wilkins is going to see it, and he's going to pull it and hit one of the slide runners, those motion players, out the back door for a gain.
All right, Sun Devils shift now to see the 3 receiver cluster to the bottom. And the ball goes straight ahead, though, to Balaj. He's short of a first down. So now UCLA will try to have a short yardage stop here on 3rd. And you have a feeling these kind of stops, 1 or 2 of them, could be a difference in a game like this if you force the other team to kick. Is it going to be here? No. So Arizona State has come out, and as this first half's going along, Yogi, they're clearly establishing what teams have done to the Bruins this year.
Well, look at that offensive line right there.
Yep.
I mean, specifically on the inside, A.J. McCollum, the center, right in the middle of the screen, the 5th-year senior. He does a nice job with his hands, and his feet follow.
Yeah, about 150 rush yards already for Arizona State. Now Benjamin trying to get outside. Good tackle out on the flank by Kenny Young. Did not let Benjamin by.
And it's always fun to watch spread up tempo teams like ASU operate in the red zone. Manny Wilkins been incredibly efficient as he gets inside the 10 thus far this season.
And here inside the 20, he said they're second best in the conference as Balaj spun around. And there's 2 different ways to look at red zone. Some people measure total scores, and if you're trying to win, it's about touchdowns.
Yeah.
And the touchdown percentage in the red zone, they're second best in the conference.
And this will be interesting to watch UCLA, how they plan to play this play. Jalen Harvey, number 89, he'll be in the slot. And you got to pay attention to N'Keal Harry at the top of your screen. There's Harry, there's Harvey.
A big imbalance on this drive. All 9 plays have been runs for ASU. Here's the 10th, and look at that valley, and Wilkins hurdles in for the touchdown. Spread the field, and Wilkins had a canyon to run up.
Well, it's the motion. Look at him, easy. It was a design draw, and then whoop. Anything you can do, I can do better, and this guy can leap. We saw one from Boluwola run for me a couple weeks ago. Well, that one right there, 12 best, man. No question.
Little swing back Saturday here. As a 10-play drive, all runs.
Slide run, slide run, slide run, design run, QB draw, 12 best nominee. Find one better than this, Ashley and Mike. You got to be kidding me. Known to be a guy who leaves his feet, leaves one more time as he's chewing the side of his mouthpiece for a tug. Gains.
178 rush yards already for ASU and 31 run plays. And that's the staggering number, keeping the opposing defense on the field a long time. Nice run back by Mo Osling here out near the UCLA 25. So Rosen back to work. Starts at his own 24. Looking for the shot. There it goes again for Lasley. Jordan Lasley hauls it in. And the Bruins are right back inside the ASU 20.
Well, he's been out for 3 weeks. We knew he was going to make a play, Ted. We saw him run this in practice all week long. Shot downfield. Kobe Williams, second-year player. Big play from Lasley. Welcome back. Explosive play for the Bruins.
58 yards. Ola run for me. And that's 2 things that stand out there. One is that all the studies show that teams have been trying, if they're going to run that deep route, they're trying to go with Kobe Williams. That's where they think they have an advantage. And a little difference when it's Jordan Lasley running that deep pass. The hand fighting, he catches the ball.
And his hands and his eyes were absolutely perfect.
Ooh, that one was a little. We're standing up here watching Chase Lucas smothering that pass. That had a little danger on it. Well done by Lucas.
It's a beautiful job of Chase Lucas understanding where he is in the field. I call that spatial awareness. He just sat at the goal line and said, okay, you're going to have to make a back shoulder throw here. Chase Lucas almost committed to UCLA. His mom said, let's go through the process. Ends up signing at ASU and makes a play there at the goal line.
And Sun Devils, Phil Bennett talked to us a lot about Chase Lucas this week. Very high on him. Third down. Rosen extends it, now comes back into the field, and that short hops into Pabico in the back of the end zone. And so here's one of those little stops we just talked about a few minutes ago. ASU gets the stop, and they're going to force a field goal.
Keep an eye on Jordan Lasley. He's going to run a little post route and then come back to the corner. And Rosen, he had him open for a minute, but I'll tell you the guy who made the play was Jamarcus Rhodes at the outside backer position. He got in the throwing lane. Josh tries to make a Herculean throw.
Yeah. Those are the kind he made that first game of the year here against A&M. A couple dangerous ones that he got away with. All right, this one is a clean field goal and kicked through by J.J. Molson. So a 58-yard shot from Rosen to Lasley sets up 3 for the Bruins. Well, they've done a real good job. The guys out there tonight of clawing their way back into this game. And that's going to be a down kickoff in the end zone. So, all right, Mike, thank you. Well, it is November. What's today, the 11th? So it's we're less than 30 days to the Heisman vote. And you start to ask yourself those questions. Has Khalil Tate played enough and done enough when he's played? He's done enough when he's played.
Yeah.
Maybe the better question, has he played enough to be in that running with the great players in this conference and around the country? And there's a great defensive play. Wow, big time smother by Rick Wade.
Rick Wade is a beast of a man. You know, we had a chance to meet with him this week after practice. Young guy. This is a young defense head. When you look at all the injuries they've had, only a redshirt sophomore, missed Oregon, missed UW, only played a few snaps against Utah. He said he was so excited to get back because these guys take it personally, obviously. This is one of the worst rush defenses in college football. Ranked 129th out of 130 teams. Rick Wade trying to change that stat.
Well, a good TFL there, 5-yard loss. Wilkins back, and that one is intercepted. Yes, the Bruins have it. Through the hands of Demario Richard and caught by Keyshawn Lucier South.
Well, let's see this one and take a look at it. Lucier South, those long arms.
Ooh, okay. Ruling on the field was clean. That one may not stand up.
After review, it was determined the ball hit the ground for an incomplete pass. It will be third down and 15 yards on the 20-yard line at the far hash mark. Game clock operator, please reset the game time to 6 minutes and 5 seconds. 6:05, please.
Man, I think Jim Moore, when you see him moving his hands, he's saying to those inside backers, the Kenny Young, Keyshawn Lucier yourself, play tight inside the box for those slide runs and the cutbacks from the running backs, but on the outside, play those edges like Rick Wade did on the first snap of the drive. Okay, where's number 1? The top of your screen.
Yeah, exactly. That's the Bruin defense has to think about, right? Where's
exactly
number 1?
Right. 89 in the slot at the bottom.
Going to toss it out there and let Balaj run. Nice tackle down low. But Spencer, I believe, that got him in a short game, but not nearly enough, and ASU will punt.
Interesting choice right there. You know, this is a secondary. Darnay Holmes not playing for the first half. Starting corner, Mossy Johnson playing for Jaleel Wadood. And you got some beasts on the outside in N'Keal Harry. They went with the toss to the boundary.
So Sleep Dalton to punt it away for the Sun Devils. And Pickett waving that right arm takes the fair catch, but UCLA gets a punt out of this, and now the Bruins will have a possession starting at their 31. And Rosen comes over the middle and has the ball completed. So right away, one play and the Trojans are at midfield. And that catch by Jordan Wilson.
Keep an eye on Jordan Lastly, right there in the slot.
Whoops, throw back. And we have flag down. Receiver catching the ball. So the two handoffs and a forward throw to Lastly. And what I'm wondering, I was looking at first of all to see if there was a lineman downfield. That's often what happens on that kind of play, but didn't appear to be.
No. Disciplined play call.
Yeah.
Old linemen, they weren't anywhere.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 3. Penalty is declined. Results in the first down.
That's on DJ Calhoun here.
He's just going to work his way over Jordan Lastly. Josh Rosen.
Yeah, well, and you hit that. That was great discipline. The offensive line all stayed right inside. There was no wandering there. And so now here come the Bruins right back to work. And Olarunfemi runs it down to the 26. Jim Mora saying to us that Olarunfemi has the hot hand, and so he's using him.
And he followed the big guy,
Yeah.
Colt Miller, number 77, the left tackle. I mean, this whole line right now, for the last 2 drives, have had their way up front.
Going to run it again in a good hard leg drive, just enough to get a first down. Olarunfemi taking it down to the 21. Well, the Bruin performance in this first half and largely in this second quarter is making a little bit of a statement here, because again, you're scuffling, you're down 14-0. To claw your way back, to rebalance yourself is something. And here's for the lead. Theo Howard can't catch up.
They said they were going to take their shots. Jim Morris said, hey, we're going to let it rip. See right coming at you. Look at that camera work. Runs the out and up. Just overthrown from Josh Rosen, but they're trying to take shots at the secondary. And I think Jed Fish and this offense is going to continue to attack the middle of this defense in these corners with the playmakers.
We said Arizona State second in the conference in red zone touchdown scoring. UCLA's third. Now they're just outside the 20-yard line here.
That's 0.
And Rosen's going to let his receiver make a play, and it's off the hands. So that was a shot to let Jordan Lastly outfight Chase Lucas for it.
This is fun to watch Chase Lucas. He's going to be a star. Great patience from Jordan Lastly. Waiting for the ball. A little late on the timing. Rosen was looking to his right, hanging, waiting for something to develop. Came back late.
All right, so now it's 3rd and 10. Only 3 rush. And, oh, Rosen has a man. And it's dropped by Jordan Wilson. So that's 4 drops in the first half, and UCLA will bring its field goal team out.
Perfect play call from climb the pocket, clinic worthy, and this has happened all too often for this team. And you don't want to get on the receiver, the tight end who dropped it, but it's just happened throughout the season. We've seen it happen a lot. It kills drives, and here we are getting 3 potentially again for UCLA inside the red zone.
Molson's kick is good, so Molson is 2 out of 3 in this first half. The Bruins are within a point. Final. There, we're getting set for the J.J. Molson kick to begin the second half. Shorter kick running up. And being tackled at the 25-yard line. Largely with the run. Here comes a run for UCLA. And it's done by that's Damian Alloway getting in the game. Red shirt. Touching that ball and running it out for 5 yards. And now Rosen keeps. And Rosen, who scored a touchdown in the first half running, he's actually had 6 rush touchdowns in his Bruins career.
And they see Soso Jamabo for the first time, an active role in the zone read game early on here in the third quarter. Look, they got to replace a lot of production. Aaron Andrews is done for the season. 10 touchdowns, a lot of explosive plays, trying to manufacture a few.
And running for the first down goes Jamabo. Soso Jamabo hasn't played much the last couple of games, and that's what Jim Morris said. You know, Olorunfemi has had what he calls the hot hand, but this guy was the name when I asked Jim Morris, who's your best back at pass protection, an essential part when you have a guy like Josh Rosen? And he said it was Soso Jamabo. Christian Pabico with a catch, and now the Bruins in business.
And it's interesting, you always want to see that first drive and the adjustments you make at halftime. And for UCLA, it's getting the ball out, clearly. It's quick strike, quick hitting type plays versus the play action pass, developing plays we saw early in the first part of the game.
And I would say, Yogi, early third quarter here, if you're UCLA, you got to feel like Rosen hasn't been hit a lot. Do you feel that way?
100%.
And Rosen, he has to be very happy about that.
Especially the way this one went
last
year against Arizona State on the road, knocked out of that ball game. And I think his eyes, he's really understanding where the defense is flowing right now. Extremely patient.
Jamabo got outside, and Jamabo is in. Touchdown! And UCLA has its first lead of the night.
Watch the right side of this offensive line. Really nice job pulling. Soso Jamabo does the rest. There's a reason he was the #1 recruit coming out of Texas at the running back position a couple years ago, because of his explosive ability, savvy running back, sets up blocks, bursts all the way to the end zone. That's an impressive drive.
Well, it was UCLA answering and getting some of it done on the ground and going to Soso Jamabo, the 21-yard touchdown run. Well, they were down 14-0, and early in the third, UCLA ahead for the first time.
That's an impressive drive.
All right, J.J. Molson to kick for the Bruins. And what a good tackle there on the kick cover. Wilkins, middle of the field, has Jalen Harvey. Big play. That flips the field dramatically all the way to midfield. A 3rd and 17 conversion.
He loves finding 89 on third down all season long, and you see him get to the line of scrimmage, try to piggyback with another play.
36 yards. That's a gut punch on 3rd and 17. Big play for the Sun Devils, and now Harvey comes right back with a short gain.
Well, you'll see the safeties here, and Harvey's going to work his way to the middle of the field. The safeties, UCLA, they jump out and play coverage. Well, they're a little too deep. You want your ankles to be right around your feet, to be around where that first down sticks are.
Going to Hudson. Nice throw and catch. Down to the UCLA 23. Hudson motioned out and then ran almost what looked like a wheel route. You see that result of his tackle, being tackled. UCLA Arizona State trying to play as quick tempo as they can. And DeMario Richard had a nice unbalanced line there.
I mean, how about that? Not the catch from the tight end, but that is a rip shot. Chris Barnes didn't even know it went right by his ear hole.
So ASU right back to the red zone. Wilkins running. Oh, man, that's a big-time smack by Pickett.
You love it in these games, these back-and-forth games. Darius Pickett comes in like a missile on the top of your screen. Sees Manny Wilkins. Whew, Manny can't slide. But Manny pops right up, says, all right, next snap.
And here he goes, right back at it on 2nd down. It's Richard, and he didn't even reach the 5-yard line. So the Bruins holding up right now defensively inside their 10. It's going to be 3rd down, Arizona State. They can get a first.
I'm working to number one. Make UCLA stop N'Keal Harry. 6'4", 220 on a true freshman, Darnay Holmes at the top of your screen.
See if he runs a fade here. Well, there goes Benjamin out that way. Third down there. Harry was running a fade. Wilkins doesn't throw it. He's going to run it, and he's short. Right? You had it, and that's exact. Harry ran the fade to the back corner.
But yet sometimes you just got to give your guy a chance.
Yep.
They run the motion and see if it's man-to-man coverage. It is, and Manny gets off of it, I think, a little too early, then tries to make something happen. Give this UCLA defense a ton of credit. You see
Look
it.
at that. There he goes. Yep.
Yeah, that's a pylon throw. Manny's going to want that one back.
Well, that's the advantage of N'Keal Harry's his size, and that's it. You want him to throw it to that back pylon, and you said give your guy the shot. All right, the field goal is good by Brandon Rees. So Arizona State gets 3, but UCLA holds inside the 10, and the Bruins still up 3.
UCLA didn't allow a touchdown, but 3 points.
Mo Osling on this kick run back, and he took it out across the 25. So Rosen, little flip screen on the right side, Roberts. But Arizona State fought through that nicely. Good job by the Sun Devil defense, and that was Tayshawn Smallwood that got there first.
Quietly, Tayshawn Smallwood, they call him Mr. Dependable. He's playing his way into a potential all-conference year. He's been so consistent, that defensive front. We talk about DJ Calhoun and Christian Sam. It's because of those guys up front.
So quick ball here to Lasley. Nice step inside and then closed down quickly. DJ Calhoun out there in the tackle, along with Jamarcus Rhodes, who's we were watching him on the sideline before the game. And is he a big-bodied guy to be a hybrid safety linebacker?
Yeah, and he's got to make a big play here.
Third down. Oh, they've got Ola run for me. Ola run for me. Running for a huge gain. First and goal for the Bruins.
Well, I'm going to give Josh Rosen a lot of credit, and then Jordan Lasley. Rosen feels the pressure to his right, drops it out, just takes what the defense gives him, then get a little bit of taste from Lasley here at the end. Ola run for me, runs his way inside the 10, but Josh Rosen just taking where his options are, finding green grass.
And he finds Roberts down to the 2-yard line. The previous play, 56. From Rosen to Ola run for me, and Lasley did a nice job there, by the way, of running interference, but didn't get called for blocking in the back.
Exactly right, knowing when to give it up.
And Ola run for me doesn't give it up. He takes it in for the UCLA touchdown. And the Bruins have had an offensive third quarter.
Well, when you watch this team, you don't question the schematics on offense. You just can't have the unforced errors. None thus far in the third quarter as we chart them. Ola run for me catches the swing pass, takes it inside the 10 and finish off the drive. Ola run for me and Jamabo. It's been their story here in the third quarter.
And with all of the accomplishments of Richard and Balaj as the outstanding running backs for ASU, Ola run for me and Jamabo are standing up for themselves here.
Well, this offense, they know they got to deliver. The offensive front, quarterback, and backs, we got one here.
Oh, good throw to the near side. So Kyle Williams, for a long third down, he got himself pretty open on this near sideline. And a big first down game. Arizona State, we showed you the number in the first half. They're not very good on third and longs. They've hit a couple significant ones here in this third quarter.
Huge, huge. Too much cushion in the back end. An incredible route and a little more, too much time for Manny Wilkins.
Taking the shot, he's got Williams down there. So it's ASU answering right back. Explosive play, and they will have first and goal.
Well, we talk about all these other receivers of ASU. Kyle Williams is efficient of a route runner, and he goes up against Darnay Holmes, true freshman. Missed the first half because of a targeting penalty a week ago. Teams have gone after him this season. They went after him again on a double move inside the 10.
First and goal. And it's Balaj driving his way down. Inside the 3.
Now watch this. This is going to be a double move. Slant and go on Darnay Holmes. Slant, go. Seen freshmen get beat on that for years in college football.
No touchdown there. UCLA stops it. Well, this was 3rd and 10 for ASU back in their territory about 40 seconds ago. A 19-yard pass to Kyle Williams, then the 47-yarder to Kyle Williams. And here, the Sun Devils in a spot, though, that echoes Jim Mora's words at the end of the first half. You can't kick field goals. You need to score touchdowns. ASU kicked a field goal last time. And this excellent red zone team, 3/4 of their red zone trips this year, they've scored touchdowns. It is not Darnay Holmes on Harry. They've got press cover on him on the line on 3rd down, but he's isolated. Wilkins not looking there. And underneath the crossbar, it's broken up. So it's Colin Samuel pressed up on the line against N'Keal Harry, and Manny Wilkins didn't look that way at all.
Well, they ran a safety over the top. A really nice job at UCLA forcing Manny Wilkins to get off of number 1, N'Keal Harry. He comes to his second favorite target on the in route.
It was Curtis Hodges, big receiver at 6'7".
And they love Hodges' development, the freshman.
Well, the 3 points will help, but it's not what Arizona State wanted. First and goal. They don't cash in. Reese kicks through 3 more. So it's still the 3rd quarter. The points important for Arizona State. But for UCLA, they're going to feel okay. They bent on an explosive play, but then they stood up in the red zone. And tonight, Arizona State, Ryan McGrady with us for that. 14 red zone plays tonight, 10 runs. So they've been pretty much on their season percentage, but the big one here on 3rd down was the pass.
Jordan Lasley, he's been big for Josh Rosen in big plays. They wanted to take shots. You see it from the blimp on the trick play. Finding ways to get players down the field. Josh Rosen trying to find explosive plays in this offense. They lost Darren Andrews. They lost Caleb Wilson earlier in this season to season-ending injuries. Who's going to be the receiver? They've had 5 drops in the first half, but none by number 2, Jordan Lasley. And I think, again, they're going to take shots to number 2 on the outside.
Rosen holding it. Ooh, that's a fortunate outcome there. That's not a throw you want to make, but it ends up being a nice little spin move by Jamabo to get a yard or 2 out of the play.
Yeah.
That's almost when you say throw it incomplete at his feet.
Yeah, that was not the wisest of plays. But I would take a shot here if I was UCLA.
I should correct myself. He actually lost 4 yards on that. So 2nd and 14, now coming back, and he's got a gainer. And that'll leave a short 3rd down as Lasley has it at the 33.
And when you get the game taken away from you, and Jordan Lasley suspended for unspecified rules, watch this route. Forward lean, drop your hips, and always work back to the ball. Nice job of catching the ball, utilizing his hands, immediately getting north and south.
All right, all the receivers to the right. Rosen going that way, but now is in trouble and will get rid of it. It's an out-of-bounds catch by Christian Sam, but it's going to be a 3 and out. And that's much needed by Arizona State's defense.
Yeah, and they go sprint out to the right. And I get it, when you're on the left hash, you think you got a ton of field to work with. You only need 2 yards. Not a conversion. That's frustrating.
And UCLA on 3rd down and 2 or less, coming into this game best in the conference. They'd only failed once all year to convert on 3rd and 2 or less, I should say. So there's a second, and there's a block, and this may tie the game. Arizona State with a block punt touchdown. picked up by Eno Benjamin. But the Sun Devils special teams. There's also a flag down. I don't know if that's for celebration after the fact, sideline. Yeah, the touchdown's going to stand. This was a flag thrown after the play.
The result of the play was a touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, receiving team number 10 for taunting. That penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
And so it's against UCLA.
Well, you're going to see the right side of your screen. It's Tyler Wiley.
Ooh.
Untouched.
Well, that was, you're going to say that was hardly a special teams expert on that, but that's, you have two guys right in there.
Yeah, Malik Lowell as well.
Lowell's the guy who got the punt. And Benjamin scoops and scores. But that's clearly a miss by the protection there. You have two guys coming up, one off each flank, that are there right on the kicker.
I mean, what a game of inches.
How about this? And there's a nice swing in the wide open left flat.
Guiding this team into what is looking to be like, Ted. Oh, it's going to be a good one, man. Tied up here.
What did I see? Wake Forest beat Syracuse like 90-80 today. Some score like that. I think we might get there in the last 15. Let's see what Rosen has. And Rosen has Leslie. And the first play of the fourth quarter is a touchdown.
Ted, we were coming up the elevator in pregame with some NFL scouts. And this is an NFL throw. A little short motion from Jordan Lasley. Back foot timing. Whoop. Beautiful spot throw on the post. That's how you dial it up. And nice. Jordan Lasley, what a grab to go downstairs.
That's a receiver reaching down, and his hands, that's what they're there for.
Well, and that's
used him beautifully.
You're exactly right. Yeah. Stepping in for Darren Andrews. Yep. Missed the last 3 games, suspended. His presence has been felt.
By the way, as the kick's good by Molson, we were on the field before the game, and the UCLA sideline, there were a lot of people wearing NFL logoed jackets. Right, this kick is in the field of play. There goes Jalen Harvey as the motion and right up the gut. Ooh, wow, that was broken up, and that is a forward pass again, so it's incomplete to Kyle Williams. Aggressively played, well played by the Bruins. And Norica and Tagaloa, those inside defensive linemen for UCLA. Let's see what the Sun Devils do. They're going to throw. And they won't throw. Wilkins tried to step up, couldn't get away. And the UCLA pressure gets there. Tuioti Mariner. Darius Pickett runs up. Punt didn't have a whole lot of hang time on it. And Pickett takes advantage. He's all the way out near the 45 with the entire UCLA sideline screaming for a face mask. 12:52 to go. You still feel, again, there's a lot of football ahead. But a good drive start, 44-yard line for Rosen, except that. And he's going to make something out of it. Boy, that's it. And let's see, is there going to be a flag on that? Rosen, Evan Fields hitting him late. And that is supposed to be expressly forbidden. Oh, wow.
It starts off with Starks.
Yep.
And then let's see. I mean, look.
He's on the white.
He's on the white, exactly.
Not supposed to hit him. There's Jalen Starks getting his carry. He made a brief appearance in the first half, gets his first carry. I know that wasn't a blatant hit or anything like that, but there is a rule in place about that.
Well, I've seen it called all year long in a lot of places where you say it.
And frankly, it's injury protection, not just for the man involved, for all the sideline people. And I saw on a Sunday a couple of weeks ago that same play happened, and the man that got just pushed out of bounds broke his neck, is out for the year. I'm just saying, it's just there's a reason that rule's in place.
Yeah.
Because he hit the person that got pushed, then ran into a coach head first. And Theo Howard gets away. And there's a nice contribution from another receiver, Theo Howard. That is his first catch of the night. And UCLA's inside the 20.
Theo Howard, when he came out of high school, you knew he had explosive ability. Tough for him last year as a true freshman. Look at him snag that one, instantly changes direction upfield. Another receiver making a play.
Another tempo play to go right back to Howard. Howard is out at the 15. This is where the holding serve analogy comes into play, because now UCLA has a chance to put a little squeeze on it. If they get to the end zone here, a 2-touchdown lead awaits.
Interesting how they're rotating backs each drive here.
Ooh. Now that's a tough throw, because Austin Roberts knows he's going to get hit.
There he runs a little stick nod, little 5-yard out route. It's behind Calhoun. He and Evan Fields collide. It's one of those kind of bang bang. It's a weird collision.
And there's a model by Fields of what is being expected of players now in this era. Shoulder lead. Well, an opportunity here. On third down, if the Bruins find this end zone here and give themselves a command. Rosen has thrown 11 touchdowns in the red zone this year.
If I'm him, I'm looking for number 2, Jordan Lasley, at the top of the screen.
Gonna run it with Starks to the 10, and Starks got to the sticks. First down. So how about that cross up by the Bruins, running it on 3rd and 6 and getting the yardage.
And the variety of backs. You know, they say every week it's all based on practice, and all three clearly had a good week of practice.
Ooh, there Rosen keeping it, and he's brought down. And there's then we're going to get a late flag in there. It was A.J. Latu and then Christian Sam. Rosen claimed he got face masked.
And there it comes from Sam.
Yep.
Face mask.
Yep.
Defense number 2. Half the distance from the previous spot. That creates an automatic first down.
How about that? I mean, if you said we're coming to this game with a zone read from Josh Rosen, it was going to be proven to be critical. Looks like he might have a bloody nose, which will be interesting for the officials. If they say, hey, you need to take a snap out, which UCLA fans are hoping they don't.
So it's 1st and goal at the 4. Starks still the running back. And Starks will not get in. Right to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. There's actually 4 running backs tonight. Stevens was in there for a bit, Brandon Stevens. So primarily a 1-back set, but 4 different men in that set tonight for the Bruins.
How about Josh Rosen? You want to question his toughness? I mean, been through so much in his career, and here they are, 2nd and goal.
That clearly a result of that face mask. So 2nd and goal at the 4. Lasley's up to the top in a 2-man stack. And Rosen's looking for Pabico, didn't get him, and he's going to be to the 3, almost to the 2. Calhoun prevented him from getting ahead of steam, and then Latu finished. Rosen was looking at Christian Pabico running to the far corner.
And this is where you miss Austin Roberts, or a tight end. just to kind of be an outlet, a big body down here in the red zone.
All right, 3rd and goal. Soso Jamamo now in. Ooh, wow, that's a throw that had a little peril to it as well. And it will bring up a field goal. Lastly, the intended receiver, but there were some white jerseys in the path.
Try to really tunnel screen.
Latu,
Latu, incredible job by the 50-year senior. Dropping at the end.
Yeah.
And just tough execution. I mean, this is what this game's going to be, Ted, right? Execution on critical D&Ds inside the red zone. Field goals versus touchdowns.
All right, here's an extreme angle kick now. 20-yarder for Molson. And he puts it through. So that's the 3rd field goal of the night for the Bruins kicker. Where's Burgess Meredith when we need him? He's the corner man. And the little night coolness for November settling in over Pasadena. The Bruins have a 10-point lead, still 9:38 to go. And it's Mickey from Rocky.
Coming, Mick.
That's why McGrady travels with us, because I can't remember these things as quickly as I used to. It was Burgess Meredith, who was the Penguin, of course, in the great Batman show of my childhood. Yogi's looking at me as if I'm speaking a foreign language. Wilkins goes, and there's a nice catch, and that's what you would expect to see. He threw that ball out of bounds and let N'Keal Harry make a catch, tap a toe, 1st down.
Well, again, I mean, I would just keep going back to the well in number 1. If they're not going to double cover him with a safety over the top or bracket coverage him with a linebacker inside or a nickel defender, keep throwing it to number 1.
They go back to the far sideline. That's going to be just short at midfield. Curtis Hodges on the catch, but this is what UCLA wants. Shorter plays, inbounds, clock rolls. And now they don't let Wilkins escape. He gained about a yard, but those interior linemen, Tagaloa and Enorica, with a tackle. So 3rd down, but meanwhile time really running down on the Sun Devils. And now 4th down facing. Tuioti Mariner in there. This is played right into UCLA's hands. They're allowing them the 3, 4, 5-yarders in the field. And Arizona State doesn't have the time to do a 15-play drive here.
Yeah, it's been an impressive job calling plays on this drive for the defensive side of UCLA.
And if it was a 1-score game, they would, I should say. They're needing 2 scores.
But here we go again. Man coverage, single high safety. Number 1, N'Keal Harry at the top. 4th in the game.
Wilkins taking another shot down there, trusting his man. And his man delivers. Harry with a catch at the 11. Why not?
Again.
Why not?
I mean, this guy is freakish. Keep feeding number 1 the rock.
That one thrown away. Smartly done there by Wilkins, but you go back to that previous play and you say, 10 other times tonight, that might have been a good idea.
Well, yeah, and Manny Wilkins is late to the party on the throw.
Yeah. I referenced a little bit ago, win some one-on-ones. He won a one-on-2 there, but he can do that.
He is a beast. You're going to see him now at the bottom of your screen. If there's no help over the top, keep giving him shots.
Balaj spinning. Balaj driving it down. He's at the 7. So it's going to be 3rd down. Now the situation does enter where Arizona State could kick a field goal.
Yep.
They need the 2 scores is now I think a lot of fans are understanding more and more. The order doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They can't come away empty here is the point. Clock is running. Todd Graham's holding his timeouts.
Safety over the top of him, so that means you're working the slot right now if you're Manny Wilkins.
And UCLA has a second defender shaded there. They're well aware Harry, and Arizona State runs it, and they don't get it. So UCLA plugs the middle at a most important time on a third down.
Wow.
And now Arizona State will kick, but
the clock's going. I mean, I get it. You're going to kick the onside kick. We'll see what happens. But, I mean, this is about 40, 45 seconds, Ted, that ASU's lost.
This would have been where they would have used the timeout had they not burned it on the previous play.
And that's why I said I would have thrown it.
Yeah. All right, so the kick by Reese, you see his night tonight. And puts that through, so the game is alive for Todd Graham and the Sun Devils. And their last hope is going to be now on whatever onside kick play they have, whatever they feel most comfortable. So it is Harry, and that's... I would be stunned if UCLA is not very focused on where he's going right now, figuring that's where the ball's going to go.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. And the dribbler straight ahead did not go 10 yards. So UCLA has the ball, and if they execute their snaps from center properly here, they will win the game.
ASU went with a surprise onside. UCLA all over it.
How many games have you seen Josh Rosen in the fourth quarter where his jerseys are all ripped apart? Not ripped up, but I mean, you know, just tattered and stained and grass stained everywhere. And the game in Tempe last year, as you referenced, ended Josh's season. And tonight, I can't think of a single resounding hit that he's taken.
Well, in the previous two games against ASU, 38 hurries for Josh Rosen. Tonight, I count maybe 2. And some of them, they were on him in terms of not getting rid of the football. I mean, give the O-line credit, but I give the kids credit. I really do. To be able to fight back, so many expectations for this program, so many injuries, and they battled. They battled for their head coach, knocking on the door for a bowl game.
Well, both teams in the same spot. Both teams 5-5. And we'll be following the Sun Devils next week to Corvallis, where they will try to get that 6th win and prior to the Territorial Cup. And for the UCLA Bruins, that season continues for them. They're 5-5, 5-0 here.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's going to be interesting to watch this team confident next week in the rivalry game. Remember, they had SC's number up until last year, and Josh Rosen, he clearly wants to leave his mark in that matchup, but love the competitiveness from both these quarterbacks. For ASU, it'll be fun to see how they bounce back. We got him, as you referenced, a week ago, but for Jim Moore, I think you got to give him credit. He held this thing together when injuries, bodies, young players, then being down early. They define resiliency, man.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed spending some of your Saturday night with us at the Rose Bowl. And join us next Saturday. We'll be in Corvallis, the How Great Is Ball Tour farewell concert. Yogi Roth on backing vocals. Arizona State and Oregon State. It'll be a big game for ASU. Noon next Saturday. Thanks to our entire crew. David Feldman, Tom Satursky. For Yogi and Jill, I'm Ted. Sonic Postgame Report straight ahead.